for women in trades and technology. And through that, I met a few different amazing women who had skilled trades. And when the opportunity arose in my workplace to apply for an apprenticeship program, I did it. I applied for it, and I was finally successful. And here I am now, almost finished my journey, and I will have my CFQ very, very shortly.
Wow. And how about yourself? When did you decide this is what I want to do?
Well, I actually had attended university right out of high school for a very long time. Over about a decade, I was like in and out of different programs, constantly changing my major. In the meantime, I was married, I had children. So when I was on maternity with my second child, a friend of the family who actually was running a program with West, who's one of the groups we're going to speak with today, she said to me, "Erin, what the heck are you doing? Get a trade. Why are you, jumping around in all of these university programs?" And so that was like about a decade ago, and I started looking for an employer that I knew would take on apprentices. And from that point, I just worked really, really hard to get that apprenticeship and finish it through to the end.
Okay, so now I'm really curious. What did you take in university?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. First, I started with English literature. I even did actually interior design at St. Clair College for a little bit. I left the visual arts program in the end at the university. I probably have a minor in business, classical civilizations, history, but I think that's the thing about post-secondary education. A lot of times people go into it when they're young and they don't really know why they're there. And that's why I am so passionate about being an advocate for the trades. Because what happens when you go into skilled trades and when you start an apprenticeship, you're actually getting paid to explore that career.
That's right.
So you're getting paid to go to work every day, you're getting paid to be taught, and you're getting paid to learn. So it's no loss to the parents or to the student or the apprentice. There's really just advantages in it all around. That's how I landed here.
Okay, well that's a good story. Okay, so I'm interested in your story too. So you worked at Windsor Assembly Plant.
I did.
And what did you do before you got into the apprentice program?
I worked on the line.
Yeah.
I worked on the line, and I got involved with the union very, very early on. I taught a program around union awareness, trying to just teach people about the union. We talked about human rights, talked about politics, retirement, and through that, I eventually got this position teaching at our education center in Port Elgin. And the course that we taught was Women in Trades and Technology.
Okay.
And it was amazing. Women came in, they did a 40-hour course, and when they left, we were hoping that when the opportunity arose, they would go into skilled trades. But even if they didn't, after 40 hours when they left, they had more confidence. They felt better about themselves. They were able to write a test. We gave them interview skills. So even if they never went into skilled trades, they still left with a tremendous amount of skills.
So you saw women coming into the trades before you yourself made that decision. So when you saw these women coming through the program, were you like, maybe this is something that I should give a shot?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other DLs, discussion leaders I worked with, were always very encouraging. But the difficulty was there wasn't a lot of opportunities to get an apprenticeship. So it took about 10 years before Chrysler had an apprenticeship program that I was even eligible to apply for.
Okay. And so then you got into the electrical trade.
Yes.
And I guess what's the process there? So you become an apprentice. How long does it take when you start to when you get to take your C of Q, which you can explain what that is too?
So it's 9,000 hours. You have to work for an electrician. You have to work 9,000 hours on the job.
It's a lot of hours.
So technically, usually you work about 2,000 a year, 40 hours, 50 weeks. But because of COVID, I lost some time there. I was laid off. So in April, it will have been 6 years that I've been on this journey.
Wow. But to Erin's point, you were getting paid while you were doing this apprentice.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's not like you were going back to school and paying tuition. You were getting paid to do this.
No, and I was very fortunate because where I work at Stellantis, it's all paid for. So sometimes you go through an apprenticeship and you go to school, you need to go off on unemployment. I was fortunate I didn't have to do that, so my income was not impacted. When I did become an apprentice, though, I did have to take a pay cut, which is in all areas. As you start as an apprentice, generally you start about 60% of what a journey person is making.
Okay.
And then as you accrue more hours, you get raises. So as you learn more skills and become more competent, then that is reflected in your pay.
So 9,000 hours, and if I remember correctly, you have today's an important day for you.
Yes, today is, I finished my hours, my 9,000
Hallelujah.
hours.
9,000 hours.
Yeah. So now I'm a journey person candidate, and in the very near future, I will go write my big 4-hour life-changing test, and then I will get my CFQ, which is my certificate of qualification, which will then, I will have forever, and I will be a journey person electrician, and I will be able to travel all the way across Canada and work any place. So
any place you want.
Any place I want.
So that makes you a certified tradesperson.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. I want to dig into your story a little bit more because from English lit
Yes.
to millwright.
I know, but here's the thing about post-secondary education.
Yeah.
I actually had applied to study chemistry
Okay.
in university. But at the time, I got accepted.
Yeah.
But I was like 19 years old in high school, because
Sure.
we had that 5th year.
Yep.
And so I failed all my OAC maths.
Oh.
So then
funny.
I just went into English.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird thing, though, about university. A lot of times, kids are there because they feel like they're supposed to be, and it's this big investment.
Yeah.
And, and then you're like, oh, this isn't for me. And then you just try something else.
Yep.
And actually, though it was in visual arts, we had a wonderful sculpture studio, great class, and a wood shop. It was beautiful. That was the first time that I had ever really used tools, really had access to an unlimited supply of tools. And I sort of realized there, I was like, man, I don't really care about special creativity or even the theory. The thing that really interested me was the tools, making things with my hands. And so I took that sort of entry-level knowledge and I started doing projects at home, making a deck or a fence or some bookcases. And so that's what piqued all my interest. And then I got that little nudge. And interestingly enough, Jen was running the program that I first went to when Terry Weymouth, who is a very prominent...
Terry.
Yes.
Yeah,
So Terry's the one that gave me that kick in the boot. And she said, go check this out. Check out this program. See what you think. Jen was one of the advocates there, and I learned from her. And then once I worked at Stellantis, I actually took the program a second time. So it was that course that I'm actually teaching now as well. I know it's gone full circle.
You're paying it forward now.
It's been wonderful.
Wow.
It's such a pleasure. But it was that course that I left that week, and I was just like, okay, I've been circling, the toilet bowl for 10 years, and finally I see a path that I want to walk forward on.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
So for the people at home, what does a millwright do?
Sure. Okay, so generally a millwright works with, I like to say in our plant, we work with all the moving parts, anything that moves. So we repair machinery, we install machinery, we work on different things like gear systems, pulleys. At our work, we do a lot of work with the assembly line, which is mainly driven by chain-driven systems. So we do a lot of work with chains, rolling parts, and then we also work on the tools that are on the line. So anything, for example, like a hoist or a balancer that's helped to relieve the weight of the tools that are on the line. It's our job to maintain those and to make sure they're properly calibrated so that the workers on line are not injuring themselves through overexertion.
So when we were chatting earlier, you had a line. It was something about something being stuck.
I just don't want to offend all the millwrights out there in the world. But in my workplace, it basically breaks down to this. Is it stuck and does it move? So if something is stuck and it's supposed to move, it's my job to get it moving. It could be grease, could be a new set of wheels, it could be a new belt.
Okay.
And if it's moving and it's stuck, then my job is to get it unstuck. Did I say that? Did I switch
think
it
so.
up? Anyway, is it stuck and does it move? That's what it breaks down to. Because we really do. we maintain every single thing that moves in the whole plant. And so even with the robotics coming into the workplace,
Right.
you know, a lot of people think about robotics and automation displacing workers. The nice thing about trades is that every robot is a machine, and every robot needs to be maintained. So all of their wrists and their joints and their rotating axes, those are all things that not only does Jen program,
Yeah.
but I also have to make sure that the parts are moving as needed. So there's work for us everywhere.
That's so cool. So you program the parts and then you fix them if they stop working.
Yeah, when her program is not working, then I go and I say, it's electrical. And she says, it's...
And we've got friends walking
Yeah,
by because it's
yeah.
starting to get busy here at the
Yeah.
trade show. So
Yeah.
we'll bring our friends on as things move along here. But and so at the end of the day, your job is to keep things moving.
Keep things
Keep
moving.
things moving,
Yeah.
right? Because if things stop for a prolonged period of time, then that means the line's not moving. And if the line's not moving, then cars aren't being produced. And if cars aren't being produced, then cars aren't being sent to dealerships. And if they're not being sent to dealerships, they're not being sold, and so on and so forth. There's a chain reaction of things that happens when things aren't moving. And so the importance of someone like you and the people that you work with is...
Yeah, to keep it going. So
And-
may I repeat the analogy I told you
Yeah,
earlier?
repeat the analogy.
So I have a coworker who's recently retired. She was out of Ford in Oakville. And I said to her when I first started, how do you handle the stress of a breakdown? How do you handle all of the management and all of the workers standing around you, staring at you while you're desperately trying to resolve and troubleshoot and fix something? And she said to me, the way I see it, all the money they're losing from this line being stopped, if I can fix it 10 minutes faster, I just paid my wages for the whole year.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, and that gave me a lot of comfort to think like, all right, just, look for those minutes that you can save here or there.
Absolutely, because it is really minutes. Productivity
It is
is
minutes.
king in this business, right?
I mean, in the industrial setting.
Yes,
Like, yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so you both work with West, which is Women Enterprise Skills Training.
Yes.
I understand that. And I think we have someone from West coming on to speak with us a little bit later. What is something that you're noticing when it comes to women in the trades? Maybe we'll start with
Through
you
West?
on that one.
Or just
Through
in
West, or just through
general?
your experience. You've been working with West. You've been working at a place where you've seen trades around you your entire career, and now you are very close to being considered
know.
one of those people. What have you noticed about women in trades over that time?
So probably we've been talking with West maybe 10 years-ish.
Yeah.
So I think the women that are coming in are more committed to getting into trades. They have more knowledge about trades. They're younger. It's something they really, really desire. Their education levels are higher. They do better on the testing because when they come through our program, we do some tests just to give them a chance, an opportunity to hone their skills, to see maybe where they need to refresh. Because as an older worker going into trades, I had to refresh. I had to study my
Absolutely.
math. And so I think that the women coming in, yeah, definitely, they know what they want. A lot more women are more keen to go into like a millwright. In the past, they would have never thought about that. Welding is another industry that I see a lot of young people talking about. They want to be welders.
Yep.
I also think they can see themselves. There's more role models today, women in trades, so they can see themselves in those positions.
Do you think it's empowering?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of power with being in trades because I just know at work when something goes down, everybody's looking to you to fix it. And the first time you have to fix something, you're very intimidated and you're scared and you don't think you're going to be able to do it. And then as you do it, you kind of get that little bit, I don't know, your posture straightens out
You
more.
stand up
and
a little
you're
straighter.
Like,
Yeah,
I can do
I think I
this.
did that.
They
Nice.
don't need my help. I can do this. And yeah, it does. It's very empowering.
That's awesome. Similar experience with you?
Yeah, I just have sort of two things to add to that. One is that, people always talk about the wage gap, like between genders.
Sure.
The nice thing about working in trades is that there's no wage gap in gender disparity because you get
Right.
paid for your level of knowledge. And in this workplace, this is what the electrician gets paid and this is what the millwright gets paid. And it's standardized. And so that's a thing that has, especially with our work with West, a lot of the women that are coming into it are from their single parents in the family.
Yeah.
And so it gives them a lot of independence and autonomy if they're able to succeed through this process,
Yeah.
because their wages can increase by about 300 or 400%, maybe even more, over this period of 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
And that is like significantly life-changing.
Absolutely.
And then the second thing that I'll say about it is we talked a little bit about those women that were kind of like breaking down barriers and creating a place for women
Yeah.
in these jobs. But I think what's happening now is we're just kind of normalizing it. So instead of having to fight for a place, we're transitioning now into a place where I might be treated a little differently at work just because people aren't used to seeing me. You know, they're like, oh, this is a surprise. This is not the millwright I was expecting today.
Right.
But as more women come into it, and we're not really needing to fight anyone, but as we sort of start to increase in numbers, it won't be so surprising to see myself show up.
Well, I feel like I completely understand what you're saying, right? But the bottom line is, and we've all heard this story, by 2030, 100,000 people who currently work in the skilled trades are going to retire, which means we have a lot of shoes to fill, right? And so how do we fill all those shoes when historically you've had to get people, like you've had to really push people to get into the trades? So what maybe is your message to women out there who are considering this as a career? What would you say to them?
This is such a loaded question. We're both like, who's gonna take
Yeah,
this
who
one?
wants to
Because
go?
we have the
Why don't
same
you guys
message.
fight over it?
We have the
No.
same message.
I would say to all people, men, women, young people, older people, keep applying, keep going for it. Because I think the biggest hurdle we have now, it's not that people don't want to get into skilled trades, it's getting that foot in the door. It's that opportunity, the employer that will say, yes, I want an apprentice, I'm willing to train you. Because honestly, when you go in on day one, you know nothing. You have absolutely no benefit to that corporation.
Yeah.
First year I was at Chrysler, I wasn't really pulling my own weight because I didn't have that knowledge yet.
Yeah.
So we just need to get employers on board to give them the opportunities to those apprentices. There's so many people that want to be an apprentice. There's so many good people that will be good tradespeople going forward. They just need that chance, that opportunity for that employer to take them under the wing moving forward.
And to know that is an option, right? Like maybe you can relate to this because you talked about your kind of going to university and bouncing around between different things. And I feel like that's a common experience.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because when you were in high school, someone told you, hey, you've got good grades, you should go to university.
Yeah.
Is that an assumption or am I
No,
pretty much right about
100%.
that?
Yeah, that was definitely the case. And also, you know, this was 20 years ago. There was more of a gender bias in it as well.
Absolutely.
But there was just sort of a default that if you were taking advanced courses, that you were going to take a more academic pathway. Very few guidance counselors would suggest, like, hey, have you thought of a career in trades? It was really uncommon. We are seeing that push right now. We're seeing it from governments and from nonprofits. This kind of event that's happening right now, there's so much work being done to advocate for work in the trades. However, what's happening at the end is employers want a grade, I'm going to compare this to a high school system. They want a grade 11 student or they want a high school graduate. No one wants to run that grade 9 class. And so what we're really ending up with is all of these people that may have even taken a pre-apprenticeship course at St. Clair College, or they have, you know, done shop classes and OYAP throughout all of their high school. But when they're looking day one, apprentice, day one, someone hire me, someone sign me up, someone give me a chance. There's very few employers that are not enough. There are not enough employers that are putting that first door and opening it. And I think that's really what's creating the biggest backlog at this point.
I hear you. So we're at Express to the Trades. We're talking the trades. We're talking about all the great opportunities that exist. And I've got two inspiring women with me right now. And I've got two more to add to the plate, if they want to just come on into the set here.
So you should know with Carrie here, this is 30% of the female trades at Chrysler.
This is 30%
in this
small little space.
I'll let you guys in.
Yeah,
Go
come
ahead.
on in. Here, I'm going to get you to hold that microphone because it probably won't pick up on my thing. We're going to squish over because we've got so many people. Move over this way. Okay. So, please, introduce yourself.
That's
because,
okay, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
I'm Carrie O'Donnell. I'm a red steel plumber, and I work at Windsor Assembly Plant and part-time at St. Clair College.
Oh, right
As
on.
the rep coordinator for the high school students coming in through their level 1.
And who have you brought with you? And just put the microphone in front of her face unless she's too shy to say for herself.
This is Mom Pride. This is my daughter, Keely.
I'm a second-year mechanic apprentice and going through the program at St. Clair, and I work for JH Restorations, and that's my sponsor.
Right on. Okay, so like the other two that I've spoken with so far, your career did not start in the trades.
No, not at all. I started with a Bachelor of Arts in French, going to Teachers College, I thought, and didn't make it. And then I ended up working in a grocery store and worked my way into management. Didn't think I'd ever get in business. And then the money was better at Chrysler, and I got hired at Chrysler on the assembly line. And after 21 years on the assembly line, I got the opportunity to apply for an apprenticeship, and I'm a plumber there in the paint shop. My responsibilities are the sealer and perfoam robots right now, and it's different work every day. It's a lot of fun. And now I'm working towards a retirement gig, and that's hopefully helping young people get into the trades and see what options are out there.
Wow. So there is no straight line.
Never.
In anybody's life when it comes to a job. I can say the same thing. Obviously, very different circumstances, but there is no straight line. You can start in one place and go to another place. You were seeking, what were you seeking when you went to the trades? Were you seeking more job satisfaction, or did you just see other people and say, hey, I want to do that? What was it that pushed you to get into the trades?
Mainly variety and challenge. I'm a lifelong learner, and just to get off the assembly line and do something that was a challenge.
Yeah.
And my dad made sure I knew my way around a toolbox and was always encouraged to tackle things that were not necessarily traditional for me to be. And yeah, so the opportunity came, and I could choose between the 3 trades: electrical,
Yeah.
industrial mechanic, or plumbing, and that's what I chose.
Okay. And so, we have someone who, I guess you could say the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree here. Would that be a safe assumption there?
Yeah, I think the only reason why I had the confidence to go into the trades was watching my mom go through it. We'd do our homework together. I was doing my school homework, and she was doing her homework for her level, whatever level she was at.
Yeah.
And having someone who knows, who went through it and knows what to do, gave me a bit of extra confidence going into it. So.
And so, I don't know anything about the trades. You guys know way more. But I did have a conversation with your mother yesterday, and she said that you have the most expensive tools. So tell me about, what it is, there's different tools for every job,
Yeah.
right? What kind of tools do you need for what you do?
A little bit of everything, especially with my job. I have electrical on the cars, we have plumbing, we have HVAC with our AC and heating and cooling and that, and then regular mechanics. So I need all the tools to do that. And sometimes our tools are with the shop, so I can get by with what the shop has, but a lot of specialty tools. Yeah, I don't know.
Right on. So obviously you were inspired by your mom's journey, but
Yeah.
looking at your peer group, looking at your friends, do you have other friends who are following a similar path here, or do you feel like that you're kind of unique in this?
Not really. My best friend's being a real estate agent. My boyfriend, he's in the trades. He's a heavy diesel mechanic, but I met him after the fact when I was already in the trade and all that.
Yeah.
So I've made friends through the trade, but my friends before going into it weren't. No, I don't think anyone went into the trades.
Yeah. Why is that? What's the conception? Maybe what's the conception
I
of the
think
trades?
high schools push university a lot still. Parents push it on their kids a lot. You need to do this, you need to go to university, you need to get good grades. And I got good grades in high school, but I'm still going into the trades. University wasn't for me. And I like to learn hands-on and experience it. And I didn't want to sit in a classroom for 4 to 8 years before starting my job and making money and getting my life going. I can work while I'm learning and doing my schooling. So, I don't know, I think it was a lot of misinformation in high school, to be honest, and it not provided to us. I didn't we didn't get a lot of support in learning about the trades. It was just starting. Like the ball was just starting to roll with it, but I don't think it was enough.
That's interesting. So how do we fix that? What are the programs? And you might have some insight to that. You might have some insight. Do you have insight into that? I can see you
How
kind
do
of.
we fix high school?
No, how do we close that knowledge gap between what you're expressing, which is it wasn't pushed.
Yeah.
Even when we know, and we just talked about this, in the next 5 years, 100,000 skilled trades are going to retire.
Yeah.
And yet here we are not having the conversation in high schools. You're bringing the intel, so you tell me, what is it?
I definitely think there's some huge improvements and things have like the ball is rolling, like Keely said. That was a great way to describe it. It really is. There's some really exciting programs out there. The high schools have lots of opportunity for early starts. It's getting the parents and kids to realize that if they choose a certain thing today, it's not forever. They're so reluctant to make a mistake in the choice that they make. I had 4 different careers in my lifetime and landed in the trades. It's never a permanent decision.
If I can add on to that, I had friends who actually were like, yeah, like I kind of want to get into the trades like you're doing, but my parents would be mad. My parents would this, my parents would that. So I think a lot of it is influence with the parents as well.
100%.
So
Yeah.
you need support at home to follow your dreams, right?
Maybe like the not older generation, but the generation that's the parents, letting them know that it's okay for your kids to go into the trades. They're not. It's not a bad thing. It's not. You're not dumb if you go into the trades, and I think that's what a lot of parents still think is that, oh, my kid didn't make it because they went into the trades, and that's not true.
Or they wasted something.
Yeah.
I know that I've seen situations where kids are exploring, but they don't know what they want to do. And those kids that are lost, like grade 12, if they're like in grade 11, grade 12, and they're like, I have no clue. My suggestion to them is to take a techniques program of some kind, because those are skills that you're going to use in your regular everyday life. You're going to learn basic plumbing, basic electrical, basic carpentry.
It's a 1-year program.
Never a waste of time to learn new things.
Absolutely.
Do a co-op in high school, and worst is you don't like it, okay, try another one next semester, or look for something else. Like, then you can get a feel for, say, that's what I did. I applied at JH. I had no idea what I wanted to do yet, and I was like, this sounds cool, I'll try it out. And I mean, now I'm there and I'm staying there. I love it there, and I love what I'm doing. But I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, but I just went in for experience, and if I didn't like it, I would have just tried out another trade. And like some of those skills are transferable as well.
Totally. And so if I can ask, so you see this as a potential career for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
19.
You're 19.
Yeah.
So you're 19 years old, and you're working somewhere, and this could be your career, and you're happy.
Yeah, and I started at 17.
And the cool thing about her journey is she started through Canada Summer Works. She basically threw her name in the pool for a job that she wasn't qualified for because she was underage. They were supposed to be for college students.
Yeah.
And she got it anyways because there was positions available, and her employer took a risk on her.
That's incredible.
And they were willing, and that's what employers need to hear.
Yeah.
They need to take these co-op kids in and train them up. Get them while they're young and train them up the way you want them to be for your workers.
I love it. All right. Well, I think that's our time with you two today, but thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate the perspective, and it's cool. Mother-daughter duo here. Yeah. Very inspiring stuff. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Take it easy. Okay, so we're going to keep the wheel turning here. I believe we have another guest. Hey, take your coat off and stay a while, would you?
Just got here.
You just got here. Well, I want you to show off your sweater. That's all. And it's okay. Take your time.
Thanks.
We're not live or anything like that.
Okay.
Come on, hey.
Where am I going?
That is a nice sweater. Right
here,
here.
Dave. I saved you a
you
spot
come in
on
here.
the inside.
All right, how we doing?
I
How we
promised
doing?
I would snuggle in with you right here.
So for starters, I like your sweater.
Thanks.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Can you not hold one of those?
Been a while.
Don't pull on the cord though, because you're going to
All
pull the thing off the table over there.
Move over?
We're going to move over this way. So, Dave Cassidy, a man who needs no introduction, I believe.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're doing these days, but I know what you used to. I do kind of know what you're doing, but you have a long title that you can't fit on a business card anymore, I think. So,
Yeah.
former president
Yes.
of Unifor Local 444. Before that, before you, I don't want to say got into the union business, but you worked at the Windsor Assembly Plant.
Yes.
I'm telling everybody your whole bio, but I don't know your
It's
whole
pretty
life
easy.
story.
It's pretty easy,
Yeah,
my bio. I'm just Dave.
Yeah, it's just Dave. I'm just Dave.
Yeah.
And now you are off working for the province.
Yes.
So tell us what you're doing there.
So I retired in May of 2024, and I took a job with the province, and I'm the skilled trade special advisor for the province. So my duties are to meet with a lot of stakeholders, colleges, universities, employers, apprentices, tradespeople throughout the province, and really try to fix the apprenticeship program. Now, that's a big problem. It's a big problem, and I mean I could go on for days and days and days, which I know you don't have time for that. But like from the surface, one of the biggest issues are we don't have apprentices if we don't have employers.
Right.
So somehow we have to get employers engaged to bring on apprentices. And that's our biggest challenge we have. So, I mean, obviously, some of my recommendations to the government are we need to make sure we give the employers some more incentives to bring apprentices on. We need to make sure that we have incentives for apprentices. There's some small grants and things, but they're not really, there's no real teeth in them. So those are a couple of things that we really have to do. And some other things that we have to do is there's disconnects between the different ministries. When I did my apprenticeship, it was the Minister of Training College University. And today we have K-12, which is Ministry of Education.
Okay.
We have the Ministry of College and University, and then we have the one, my ministry that I'm with is Ministry of Immigration, Training, Skills. It's a long
Skill
one.
development. Yeah.
So, and that's where you guys get your money from,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Some of your funding. However, none of them talk. They all work in silos. So when we have the OEAP programs and we have the co-op programs, none of them are connecting to what we actually need in industry. And it just seems that government and institutions, TDAs, are behind as to what we need in industry. So there's a bunch of disconnects that need to come together, and somehow we got to bring that together.
So you are, coming from this background that you have. You're coming into the government. Obviously, you're a trusted individual. They value your insights. I would hope.
I'd hope.
I would hope. At the end of the day, what do you have to do? Like, do you have to rattle the cages? Do you have to just go up to people and straight talk to them, or do you have to be incredibly diplomatic the way you approach things? How do you get what you're seeing and the things that you're observing? How do you implement those changes?
Well,
That's a loaded question too,
I
isn't
know
it?
it's a little different from my other role.
Yeah.
I now make recommendations. I don't make decisions.
Yeah.
However, I mean, he didn't put me there to not make decisions, to give the government to make those decisions. And
Yeah.
some of the problems that comes out is there are a lot of political, decisions have to be made. The good part is he's very open, and I'm talking the premier.
Yeah.
So I work directly for.
Yeah, you kept saying he.
Yeah,
We're
sorry.
all wondering who's this. Is it the Wizard of Oz?
No, so
No, it's
the premier gave me that assignment, telling me that. But my boss, who is a labor minister, David Piccini, David is very focused on that as well. David wants to make sure that we have the best apprenticeship program in the world in Ontario. So he's focused on it to make sure we can get to that end game. And it's, when you start taking the Band-Aid off, there's a lot of layers. Me as a tradesperson thought, I knew a lot of things about skilled trades. And by the way, I do. It's not that I don't know a lot about skilled trades. Maybe not switches and doing the work anymore, but as far as, how you go through the process and that, there's a lot of red tape, and we're going to remove that red tape, and they're focused on getting rid of that red tape to move it forward. It is a big animal, though. It's really a lot bigger than I actually thought, and more issues with it. We have a new CEO with Skilled Trades Ontario, Candice White. No history in skilled trades. Her history in skilled trades is she had a son that went through the apprenticeship program, and it was flawed. She saw how it was flawed. She has a brother-in-law that went through in the carpentry and saw how it was flawed. So she's very good when it comes to, if you look at structure and things like that. And that's what we need, somebody in the structure side, and then she'll have her subject matter experts that'll feed her based on the skilled trades, our apprentices, our trades, everybody that's involved in the skilled trades world, give her, and she knows how to sort through the crap and the real stuff. And so I'm looking forward to working very close with her as we move forward.
Do you think that everyone is united around a common goal?
I do. I mean, listen, there's some issues, obviously. We say it all the time, cheap labor isn't skilled labor isn't cheap.
Put that on a bumper sticker, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so that becomes an issue with employers. An employer might want to bring a lot of helpers, maybe not put them through an apprenticeship, and they'll have cheap labor. And we don't want that to happen. So we have to make sure we put the right measures in place for that to transpire. And look, we have two of our very own here.
We're wearing that shirt right now under here. The
Skilled.
cheap laborers and skilled. We both have it on.
Nice.
Oh, they actually have made that into a t-shirt.
Yeah, we both
yeah.
have the t-shirts on today.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I thought maybe I could walk away with this and have a
No,
little money.
no.
Uniform BU too.
No, we've had this for quite some time. So
Wow.
no, it's good. And that's the other thing, looking at the underrepresented groups.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
But
Well, thank you very much. I
pleasure.
feel like we could just chat, for an hour here.
I could go
I
on
remember
and-
coming to your old office, and we would interview for 5 minutes and chat for an
chat
hour
for
after.
an hour after, yeah.
So stick around, come back and visit us later, and if
I will.
we're bored, we'll have you back on, and we can talk about some more stuff.
We'll
Okay.
never
I'll
board.
take that microphone from your hands.
He won't be bored.
Great, appreciate it.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
guys.
much.
Take
Nice
care.
to see you.
That's Dave Cassidy. Just call me Dave, he says. Just call me Dave. Always a fun time with Dave
Dave
around.
is the reason we have our jobs.
And
Yes,
that's
Dave advocated
incredible.
for women.
That's incredible.
encouraged us.
And,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He
Always
negotiated
films
the
space for us.
apprenticeships. And
That's
you're
great.
up.
And we have another person
Hi,
coming in
you're
here.
up.
Hi.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
Hello, I'm Nico Scaloni
Hi, Nico.
with the
Nico.
IBW.
Nice. I'll give you this microphone.
Oh, thank you very much.
Just hold it up. We've got our own microphone, so you don't have to worry about interviewing us.
fancy, I
but,
like that.
Yeah, okay, so you're with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
That's right.
Local number
773.
773. Okay, so I guess it goes without saying that you deal with people in the electrical trades.
Electrical.
That's right.
I'm
I have someone over
electrician.
here who's just finished her
I
hours.
just finished my hours today.
Yeah,
so-
just finished
Really?
her hours.
No
Yes,
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm still Stellantis.
That's awesome. I love to hear that because we need more people in the electrical trade. I mean, whether you're in the IBW or you're not, I mean, obviously I'm biased towards the IBW, but being union represented, as you just heard from Mr. Cassidy, it's super important, especially in our trade, because you don't want to be undervalued for what we do because it's a very high value. I mean, without us, the lights in here wouldn't be on, right? So it's a great thing, and I'm happy for you. It's great.
So let's do some nuts and bolts stuff about IBEWs. So how big is the local that you work in?
So right now we have just over 500 members, but with the battery plant in the city and the bridge in the city, we have a lot of travelers coming in from other locals that might not be as busy. And right now we have upwards of 1,400 members working out of our local specifically, and it's great for the area. It's great for our economy, especially in Windsor too.
Wow.
Having all the extra people in and seeing a lot of different electricians in town doing work maybe a little differently than we would, or you get to see different looks and kind of almost not better ways, but different ways that things can be done.
How long have you worked in the trades for?
I'm 6 years in, so I just got my ticket last July, which
Oh, there you go.
we're basically in the same boat. I mean, 10 years from now, we're both going to look at each other and be like, we did it at the same time. It's great.
That's so cool. And so you probably don't remember a time, let's say 15, 20 years ago, when there wasn't a lot of, I guess we'll say, infrastructure development taking place. So you don't see the battery plants, and you didn't see, down the road we've got the hospital or the Gordie Howe Bridge. These are major kind of generational projects that are taking place right now that require a lot of skilled trades. 20 years ago in this city, we didn't have that going on. But today is boom time,
It is.
right? And there's a lot of demand for you.
And it looks like it's going to be continuing further, which is great. It's awesome. And even during those low times, like with members of our union being so close, like I hear stories from members that were around during those low times.
Yeah.
And places like Windsor Assembly, places like Ford, and GM when it was around was a huge thing for us. And also those smaller projects that can't get forgotten about, like maybe wiring high schools or smaller commercial buildings. Like those are things that are important to our union because they keep our members working, and they also produce higher quality work for those maybe smaller projects that aren't like generational projects, like you said, like the bridge and the battery plant. And I've had the opportunity to work in both areas of that. I've wired high schools and I've been on the bridge, and I'm also at the battery plant now. And these projects are, like you said, they're great for our area, and they're great for our tradespeople to be able to become more skilled.
We're almost a little spoiled right now with all the stuff that we've got going on, because you talk about wiring a school like a little job, but it's not a little job.
It's not.
There's a lot that goes into it. It's actually a very big job. I mean, like, I think a big job is changing a light switch in my house. So, I mean, and I certainly don't try to do that because I don't have my certificate.
Call an electrician.
I call an electrician, exactly. I don't mess with electric because I wouldn't have the first idea. Don't ask me what an amp is. Don't ask me what a volt. Don't even go there because I have not the foggiest idea. And you're right. Call a professional who knows what they're doing, so you don't zap yourself. Right.
Yeah, couldn't recommend anything more than having somebody that's certified and professional take care of your electrical needs, because it's a dangerous thing.
100%.
It is a very dangerous thing, and I did say they're smaller projects,
I know.
but
By
honestly,
comparison,
as small as wiring a house can't be undervalued either, because that's something that somebody's going to live in.
Exactly.
A school is somewhere where kids are going to learn and potentially find out that they want to be electricians too.
Yeah.
So every project should be valued the same, just in grand comparison to a battery plant or a bridge. They are a little bit smaller, but they're not undervalued, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But that's how you get the kids inspired, right? Is when they see you doing those jobs, they come up to you and say, "Wow, what are you doing? Can you explain this to me?" And
Exactly.
then they start to get the itch.
And events like this are great too, because students might not know about electrical. When they think about electrical, they might only think about changing a light switch, or maybe when they see somebody change a light bulb somewhere, where there is absolutely so much more to it, and it's so much more interesting than what people might think. And it's a great opportunity for us to kind of not advertise, but share our love for and passion for the trade, as well as what our local's doing, because there's a lot of great programs that our local puts on that don't even pertain to electrical work. And the IBW is it's a great place to be while you're making money learning to become an electrician certified, and also be around a great group of people where you get to learn and grow.
I love it. Now's your chance to offer just a quick parting word, a plug to IBW. How do people get engaged with you?
So actually, our applications are going out March 1st to 31st. All the information can be found on our website, or you can call the Union Hall, local 773. We encourage everybody to come out, especially we need more women in the trade. That is a huge thing. We are always looking for more people, more skilled individuals that want to have a great opportunity to make a lot of money, do some good work, and have some pride in what they do.
And make an impact in the community, right?
Absolutely. Because like you said earlier, without us, the lights don't turn on.
Hey, I love it. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
your
I appreciate
time.
your time.
Thank you.
And
Nice
congratulations.
to
It was nice to meet you.
All right. Wow, getting some good insights from all these different trades.
If I may, he said something that really interested me.
Yeah, and come on in. We got another guest coming
He
in.
said,
We'll introduce you in just a sec.
he said that they're here to share their passion. And that's one of the things I really like about this event, is that most of the people that are not here are soliciting nothing really except for a passion for the work.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about the environment.
That is great. That is great. So, we have a new guest here. This is just a revolving door of people
Yes.
coming in to see us. So, introduce yourself.
So my name is David Stubbs, and I'm the Executive Director for the Ontario Masonry Contractors Association, as well as our Ontario Masonry Training Centre.
Okay, so give us a little bit of information about what it is that you do.
So we're here today for our training center, and that's obviously we work right across Ontario to look for our next generation of skilled trades. We're training brick and stone masons as part of our skilled trade work that we do. And then I also represent the contractors that are hiring them. So it works very well for us that we're the training center. We do all the training for our brick and stone masons, and then we take them over and they become our employees and work on our job sites. So that's kind of a benefit that we have unique to us.
I love looking around a room and noticing all the things that tradespeople did to make what we see here before us. So we just talked to an electrician, he talked about the lights being on. And then I look over at the wall and I see
Our block walls that are all
Block
around the whole
walls.
building. Yeah,
that was done by.
that was done by our brick and stone masons. So
Yeah.
that's a masonry job that we were dealing with on an ongoing basis, or around the outside if you see the brick jobs. But we also have a few other sectors inside of our group that does the work. So we have our restoration sector. So all of our Parliament Hill work up in Ottawa, or any of our schools that are being restored. So that's in our restoration sector.
Yeah.
There's work all over Ontario dealing with the restoration side. So now we're maintaining that building stock that we built 200 years ago.
Yeah.
And so then that's one side. And then we also deal with our refractory. Our refractory is dealing with special linings in like steel and pulp and paper mills, and a lot of our industrial work that we do. And so there's a number of jobs that we have that are inside that you might not see in a building like this because it's hidden in some of our factories, but it's a very large sector of our life.
So are you as busy right now?
Yes, our group is busy. I think you probably are going to hear about it from many other groups, is that you have the cyclical up and downs. But if you look at the brick and stone masons, the ones that we're dealing with, we see that there is a need for them for the next 15 years where they're in high demand based on most of Ontario's HRDC studies. So we're looking at the human resources that are available. We know that we need them very, very much over the next few years. And then you go through these ups and downs where they have, like it gets a little bit slower sometimes. So you'll see the residential market a little bit slower right now in certain areas of Ontario. But if you look out at the long term for these students that are going in to be training, by the time they come out, this cycle is already gone and you're moving into another cycle.
So, parting question here. What are you telling the students from grade 7 to 12 who are coming through Express to the Trades right now? What's your message to them?
I think the message that we've always had to them is that you can create a really good lifestyle inside the trades. It gets you to the middle class very easily, and that's something that you're looking at is how can you afford to have a family and raise a family in Ontario? And the skilled trades lets you get there really quick, and it allows that opportunity for those people that want to go out and have a good day's work.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
Okay.
thanks very much for joining us
Thank you very
here
much.
today.
We look forward to
I
seeing
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
All right. Wow, we're just whipping through people here.
Yeah.
And so who do we have next? Who's the next contestant? Step right up.
It's Jill
You are the next
from
contestant. Oh, we got to move over this way.
Hi, everybody.
There's a familiar face.
Of course.
Oh, this is the famous
I wouldn't say
June
that.
Muir. Here, do you want to hold the microphone?
Did you
I will
have-
You
definitely
can be
hold
like
them.
Bob Barker. You can hold your own microphone.
All
There we
right.
go. Hey.
Did you have cookies last year?
We still do this year.
Oh, that's
thank
the best.
We
goodness.
have cookies.
The
We have a
people-
little bit of
Thank
pasta.
The people who have the cookies are the most popular at these types of shows,
We are
right?
very popular, and the cookies are going fast.
Yes.
So if you want one, you got to get up there.
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm a little tethered to the set right now, but maybe you could sneak over, grab some cookies, bring them
We
back.
can do that.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, June, introduce yourself and tell
Okay.
us who you are, what you do, why you're here, all that fun stuff.
Okay. So I'm June Muir. I'm the CEO of the UHC Hub of Opportunities. We were formerly known as the Unemployed Help Center, but we rebranded because we have 26 programs and services all under one roof. Employment is one. We have newcomer services, and we have a cook's pre-apprenticeship program. And we actually have participants from our program here serving pasta right now, little samples of pasta, and there are cookies, as we just spoke about. But what's great about our cook's pre-apprenticeship program is it offers students a lot, because not just students, adults, they learn a lot. And because we live in Windsor and we're a border city, culinary, being in that profession, you're almost guaranteed a job. And after they're done the program, we put them in a placement and we help people move to independence. And it's a great program. So we're here and we're trying to promote what we do, and all of our programs and services are listed in our brochures that are on the table. But I do want to mention something, if I can, if I have a quick minute.
Yeah, sure. Floor is yours.
So we're going to be having, not us, but Windsor Express is Expressing Kindness Night. I don't know if you heard about it. And one of our programs is a food bank. And right now, we are really feeling the necessity that everybody needs us right now. We are a necessity.
Which is sad.
It is sad. It shouldn't be like this.
Yes.
So they're kind enough to host a night where they're going to, every ticket that's sold, they're going to give $5 back to the food bank. And this is on Friday, March 7th. There's going to be a lot happening.
Wow.
So it's simple. It's the start of March break. You can buy a ticket.
Okay.
You can come out with your family, enjoy a night, and give back to your community, and give people a hand up that need help right now in our community, because people certainly do need it.
June, I love talking to you, but I don't like interviewing you because you often bring bad news to me about the number of people who are using food banks. I mean, I do love interviewing you too. Don't take that the wrong way.
I know.
But we often have really tough conversations about, you know, the reality on the ground, and that is that you're seeing people who are working full time. You're seeing people who you never thought you'd see at a food bank come because it's so dire right now.
Shouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of myths and misconceptions out there about who utilizes a food bank. And like you said, it is working people, but there's a lot of seniors on fixed incomes that shouldn't have to use a food bank, retired teachers. But food is just so expensive, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. So March 7th, I just wanted to give that shout out.
Yes,
if you could
absolutely.
come out with your family, buy a ticket, and $5 will come to us.
That's
So,
amazing.
and stop by and learn about our Cook's Peer Apprenticeship Program.
All right,
I
yes.
was going to say, we were here last year, and I looked at that, and my nephew went through it. And it was an incredible journey. He really, really loved it. And he's working in the restaurant industry now. So hats off to you and your program.
Well, that's awesome. See, you know what? When you can share a story, but somebody can say, I know someone that went through this program and is successful today, and hopefully he'll continue on and become a Red Seal chef.
That'd be great.
That would be great. There's always that opportunity too, right? So thank you.
Thank you, June. Thank you so much. It's so nice to
good
talk
seeing
to you.
It's always great to see you.
Hey, I'll
June
be
and I
by
go
for
back.
one of those cookies.
Okay.
Yes, let's get one of those
Alright.
cookies. June, thank you again. And we have a revolving door of people who are lined up here because they all want to talk to us,
Yes,
apparently.
am I taking up too much
No,
time?
you've been great. But thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. We will keep this wheel spinning.
Oh, we have a young plumber in the house.
Oh, hello.
Come on in the
Okay,
center.
hold on. I'm going to give you this microphone
I'm gonna leave you guys
because
in
it's
here.
better off in your hands than mine.
It's okay.
And so, introduce yourself to us.
Hi, my name is Jenna, and I'm a plumber.
Okay. Sorry, that started sounding like an AA meeting for a second there. Hi, my name is. Okay. And how long have you been a plumber for?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. I think we might be off camera. Should we move over a little bit this way? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now we're all in frame.
Are you a plumber or are you an apprentice?
I'm an apprentice.
You're an apprentice. Okay.
Because you're young.
Yeah. Yes, you're very young. I was going to say maybe it's like Doogie Howser where
Maybe.
you probably don't get that reference.
No, I just graduated high school last year.
So what high school did you go to?
St. Joseph's.
Okay. And you're in high school, you know, you're thinking about your future. What made you go, I want to be a plumber?
Well, I took a grade 10 construction class, and the teacher for that class, he started the plumbing academy at St. Joe's, and he thought I'd be a good candidate, and I tried it for a year, and I liked it, so I did it again, and now I'm here.
Who is this teacher? Because this teacher deserves some recognition.
His name is Ryan Coop.
Ryan Coop?
Yep.
Okay, and so Ryan Coop inspired you to follow a path that you were interested in,
Yes.
and here you are today as, so are you an apprentice right now?
Yes, I'm a second-year apprentice.
Second year, so you're like, say, maybe 2,500 hours into the,
About, yes.
oh, hey, that was a good guess. Okay, and who'd you bring with you? It feels
This
awkward, you're
is,
just standing here where I
Dave.
introduced you.
Hi. That's our word now. Dave DeRoche.
Okay.
I'm with the Plumbers Local.
Oh, okay.
I work with the teaching side of it.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Right on. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what it's like to be an apprentice. What's the experience like, and I guess looking forward into the future, what you want to do with this at the end of your when you get certified at the end.
So it's my experience so far has been awesome. Like I've been placed with Vollmer, and every person there is awesome, and it's just it's fun, just hands-on everything, cut pipe, solder, glue pipe, everything. Just I like it a lot.
Yeah. One of the common themes that we've been discussing today is women in the trades. When you look around, do you see other women?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
working
nice
with
to
one
hear.
right now. Yeah.
And so, is it one other woman, or do you have a lot of other women around you?
It's just one right now.
Right.
But there'll hopefully be more.
So are you hoping that you can be somewhat of a trailblazer here?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. And so what do you want to do ultimately? I mean, obviously you want to do plumbing, but what? Where do you see your career going? Do you have aspirations for certain things?
Yeah, I originally wanted to be a firefighter, but that's very competitive to get into. So this is just one of the ways I could get there.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
controlling your own destiny.
Yes.
Right on. Well, I know we just spoke, you're in electrical, you're in millwright, but we just maybe 20 minutes ago, we had someone who got into the trades and got Red Seal certified as a plumber and is working at Stellantis.
Nice.
And so, but you're starting incredibly young.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the benefits of just coming right out of high school, getting an apprenticeship. By the time you're 25, you're going to be a certified.
Even before that.
Even before that.
Yeah.
Now you're making me jealous. I was still in school when I was 25. Wow. And so what's your message to other people out there who are watching, maybe other women, but it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. What's your message to people who are unsure of what they want to do with their future?
Don't be afraid to try a lot of things. Like, even if it's just for like a few months, a year, anything, just try it out.
I love
Yeah.
that. Enough said. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank
You take
Good
it
luck
easy.
to you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, good on you, bud. Yeah.
Come on back
You
in.
could see the motherly love in my face. I'm just so proud when I see a young person like that.
Yes.
It just warms your heart.
It is very nice. Hey, come on in.
Hey, and here's a face that we know.
Yeah, okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Fantastic.
So let's move over this way a little bit.
yeah,
There we
yeah.
go. Let's all get in the frame. Okay, I'm going to give you this microphone.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. And when you're done introducing yourself, my colleagues are going to take over and start asking questions because I feel like, there's an unequal distribution of question labor going on here.
Okay.
And
I love that.
I need you guys to step in and ask
Well, we're
some
just the
burning
apprentices
questions.
here.
That's
You
right.
know, we're just
Very
day
right.
one learning.
Yes. So introduce yourself,
All
please.
right. So my name is Fasiha Bashir. I'm the program coordinator at West of Windsor. So that is Women's Enterprise Skills Training of Windsor. And I help coordinate our skill trades programs. So one is the CNC Industrial Mechanic Millwright program, which it's very famous. It's great for the community. And then we have the SMART program, which is supporting micro-credential apprenticeship training for women. So we help you get in the trades, and then we help you retain your apprenticeship till you become journey people.
Smart is something new. I haven't heard of
Yeah,
that.
can you elaborate more? That's
For
new
sure.
for us too.
So
Yeah.
West had these great pre-apprenticeship programs. We saw that there's a need, so we brought up these brilliant programs. But then we got to know about these gaps where women were getting in the trades, but then they weren't continuing their journey. So we thought about it and came up with this brilliant plan called the SMART program. So that is from the federal funding, the UTIP. And in this program, we help equity-deserving population, right now we're focusing on women, pursue their Red Seal apprenticeships in the construction and manufacturing trade. And how are we helping? We're helping with micro-credentials. So we help build up their resume. They get job search support. They also get help with wraparound support. So that is PPE, any tools they might be needing, any books, and any other costs they might endure during their program.
And how long has West been around for? I feel like this is a name that we hear in the community a lot.
For sure. So we are the pioneers of promoting, equities throughout Windsor, and we've been around since the 1980s.
Come on, I had no idea.
Really?
I did
Oh,
not
wow.
know you've been around that long.
We have a vast variety of programs. So anybody who walks through in our doors, we have a program for you. If you want help with settlement services, we got you. If you want to enter the skill trades, we got you. You want help to write your CFQ? We got you.
I feel like that should be your slogan. We got you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is that your official slogan?
I mean, yes, it should be.
It should be.
It should be. We have a program for everybody.
And do you have any idea? So first of all, I had no idea you'd been around that long. Do you have any idea of how many people that you've helped over the years?
So
Hand up.
absolutely. So we have a great example.
Yeah.
Just for the skill trades, we've helped more than 300 women get into skill trades.
Wow.
So that's a big number. And we just started this journey recently. So
Yeah.
we have a long way to go,
Okay.
right?
And
I believe you have a new program coming up, a new intake. Maybe you can tell our viewers about that.
So without sharing any official details yet, we are very excited to have a new pre-apprenticeship program coming in. We are currently recruiting. So if you're around here, please visit the West table. And yeah, I don't think I can share much more information about it yet because it's not official.
oh, so
Official.
we were looking for an exclusive here.
Yeah.
We wanted some exclusive
We'll be
details.
there. We'll
Yeah,
be there.
I
We'll be
mean-
patient. We'll be patient.
Yeah, for sure. But if you want to enter the skill trades, if you enjoy the electrical trade, we might have a program for you. So please visit our booth for more information.
That's your little teaser right there.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, we're teasing it out. And have you seen a high volume of people coming through your booth?
Oh, absolutely. And it's so exciting to see the young talent that's been attracted to this event because, we are getting to see so many young women who are interested in the skilled trades, and we're breaking those barriers, right? We're breaking those stereotypes. It's not just about hair and makeup and not just about business or healthcare. Women are doing the tough jobs and they are excelling at those. And it's lovely to see young, adults being interested in those trades.
It is. We just had one right before you, 20 years old in plumbing apprentice.
I love that. We have as young as 18.
Yeah.
So you've definitely seen a shift.
Absolutely.
With the young people.
Absolutely. And I think West plays a very important role in that because we're encouraging people to get into the trades. It's something, that is desirable now. So that is really gauging the interest of the youth.
And how did you change that conversation to make it desirable? Because I feel like we've talked about this a few times already today, but I feel like in high school we were told, do this if you're getting this kind of grade, and do this if you're getting that grade, and it was seen as less desirable. How do you change that conversation?
So at West I feel that we are really strong advocates, but we also set realistic expectations. So people walking in, they know what to expect, and that's how we get that commitment from people. We're just not painting everything with beautiful colors. We tell them the reality of the situation, and once people understand that, that's how they succeed.
You mean all you have to do is be honest with people?
For sure.
Is that it? Is
For
that the
sure.
ticket?
I mean, you have to be realistic, right? And you have to give that wraparound support that we offer because it's real life. People face challenges, right? And we're here to support you throughout. So it's that support that helps people.
It's nice to hear that there are groups out there that are in existence solely to make sure other people succeed.
For sure. That's our life at West. We are dedicated to helping improving the lives of others.
Well, we thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
mission and what you do.
Thank you.
And we're really excited to hear about this program that we couldn't talk much about, but involves electricians and some variety. And
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. And good luck with everything you do.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you continued success. I will
Thank
shake
you.
your hand and I will
Thank
take
you.
your microphone.
Love it.
And I'll give you a
Thank you so much.
It was nice to see you
Thank
again.
you.
Nice
There we
seeing
go.
you again. Be well.
We stick together,
I feel a little left out on the hug train.
Hey,
but-
man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's
We
okay.
spend a lot of
Yeah.
weeks together.
Yeah. So, So you're being asked to walk off, and I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep roughing it out. Dardis Willis, I want you to get over here next to me right now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. They just had to step off screen for a second because I feel like, they're just taking a break.
Oh, good.
They're leaving me to take a break. Can you believe that?
Yeah, handsome, good looking like you. There's something wrong with him. That's one of your co-hosts?
Yes, this is one of my co-hosts. She's a millwright.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Can I turn off
We're
my
live right now. So, yeah. So, first of all, best dressed person in the building for sure. I'm going to give you this microphone right here. Dardis Willis.
Dardis Willis.
I feel like I want to introduce you. Maybe
need
I'll
to
allow
hear
you to
me?
introduce
Are you
yourself,
good?
but I'm going to say
Okay.
Dardis Willis lives and breathes
Can I turn mine off?
basketball.
I do.
Okay, we'll
Tell me about your
let
journey
him do that.
into basketball,
I'll
your
go
journey
after.
bringing basketball here
My
to
legs.
Windsor, Ontario.
Post-retirement, the opportunity came to get into a business for a short period of time originally. But 14 years later, here I am today.
Wow.
And it happened to be one of my favorite sports, basketball. The opportunity really, he wants me to step back, and is that okay?
Yeah.
There we go. Not bad. So,
Okay.
post-retirement, the opportunity was bigger than I thought. More friends, more family, an exciting community right next door to where I grew up. So my travels, both from, hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, thank you.
Hello. you know what? I really feel good that now I have the whole team here.
Yes. We are a good team.
And I'm really excited that you guys are here today and to be able to share something that's important to me. I was just sharing my travels of basketball and sports and how I got into it. It was by chance. My best friend asked me to review a strategic plan. And here I am 14 years later, at an event that's focused on community and kids, and the opportunity for us to get better as a community, to be able to fulfill jobs that are now and in the future. And so while basketball was an opportunity, Dan Pfister, Aaron Basterfield, and some others identified this event. This was not my brainchild. This was my team's brainchild. I embraced it because a good leader allows those around him to be able to create and do different things. And this was one of them.
Yeah.
So I embraced it right from the beginning. And it did not fit in what that travel of original basketball was. But what it did fit into, which was big for me, was community, right? And it was an opportunity to help the community get better, do better. I'm in. And everybody that knows me know that one thing. I love my family, I love my friends, and I love my community. And while I talk a lot, I enjoy those that are around me to listen.
Yes.
And this particular event happened to be one that bind everything about us. It bind the sport that I traveled here to do. It bind friends and family and community. And it also allowed us to leave some type of legacy for our children. What do we mean by simple legacy? If I can introduce you to something that could help you and your family and the community, then I've done my job. And that's what I felt this opportunity was. And so I embraced it wholeheartedly. Rich, you and I go back to the first years of basketball.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, but
here we go.
Rich, this was funny. Rich actually, when he first interviewed me, he says, I'm going to come out, let's do something with the team. I'm going to even try out at one of the tryouts. At that time, he was 10 years younger than he is now. He played sports, so he was a sports guy.
Yeah.
And he came and tried out for the team. The first few minutes, he was in there. He was giving him his best.
I gave it my old college try.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I did.
And so maybe a half hour later, he's like, I'm going to sit here for a while and just relax.
And rest my hamstrings.
And rest his hamstring.
Yeah, because it was feeling pretty tight.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. His great attitude, his love for us and the community and what we brought was important.
Yes.
And I really embraced that. He came back later and he did some other things, which was awesome. And so it was a natural fit for you to be able to host, along with these two beautiful ladies, what we're all embracing right now. If we leave a great legacy and show our kids the opportunity for the different trades that have fed our community for a lifetime, then we're doing our job. I just left my good friend Van Nipperis at the penalty box, and I shared with him that while it just seems like an expo, it's much more than that. The same kids that we introduce to a trade that become tradesmen and tradeswomen, they earn a living.
Yes.
And that living allows them to come to basketball games. It allows them to raise their family, their kids. It allows them to go to restaurants. It allows us in the Windsor community to be able to sustain the way of life of what's Windsor. Windsor's different, right? I can go over to Detroit. I'm from Detroit. But you won't find the tight-knitness of the smaller community as you do here in Windsor. So as we do these things, it allows us to sustain that, build that, and keep it going for a great amount of time. If we don't do that, those great opportunities and jobs that come, they just won't be taken up by the young men and women that have been raised in this community. It'll get people from other communities coming in. It's okay, but it changes our landscape, our fabric, and everything else. We love what we got. It may be a small bedroom community of Detroit and as well as the other communities. It's ours, and that's what matters.
So Dardis, we have a limited amount of time here.
And I will talk for 2 hours if he lets me. I love singing and talking. Rich, if
I
you
want to
let
go
me
do karaoke with you sometime.
Anytime. Okay, I gotta go.
But no,
Anyway.
before you walk away though,
Yes.
so this event is kind of multi-pronged. It is,
Yes.
from 4 to 7, this is an opportunity for for youth of this community to engage with people who work in the skilled trades, who can, introduce them to maybe different opportunities. And then at 7 o'clock, they have another opportunity.
Yes, they do.
Tell me about that, and then you can hand the mic over. But this is an important part because this is where the express in the name comes from.
Well, you know what? Very proudly, two-time national champ will be playing on the court side. If you can give people the opportunity to have an expo, engage, as well as engage in sports, you've done your homework. And that's what we're doing. At 7 o'clock, we tip off against Sudbury. And right now, we're 1 up on Sudbury, but we have to win this one today. And it's very important.
Oh, this is a big game, yeah.
Yep. So if you haven't seen us play, you need to come close and watch us play. He's telling me they're going to pull that little thing and snatch me off. I love you guys. What do you want me to say? Hey, Rich, love you.
Ernest, thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Appreciate
okay?
you.
You hold that.
Yeah.
I got to give all these beautiful people hugs.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you so
I'm going
much.
to step forward so he doesn't trip over the microphone cord.
Thanks for all that you do.
Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you, Dardis.
Hey, good
Appreciate
luck
you.
tonight.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes, best of luck. Okay. And the revolving door continues. Hello, step right up. Come on in. Okay, yeah.
Hello, young people.
Hello, young people.
Hello.
Are we in frame? Are we
Ladies?
good? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to shift our
Yeah,
over this
we
way.
always have
You know
to
what we should have done? We should have put tape on the floor. That always helped me. I'm going to give you this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And you're going to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brianna Gaddy, and I'm Brianna Gaddy, and I was really interested in the skilled trades, so I came here, although I didn't know a lot about it. But there's a lot of exhibits that you can just go up to. They'll give you candy, they'll give you pamphlets, they'll give you papers explaining what all these different things are. Like, if you're confused about one thing, you should come here because there's lots of different opportunities. Because when I went online to look into the skilled trades, there is around 40 just in this one little arena. And what do you have, Jason?
Yeah.
I'm Sean Trudell, and I think it's the same. It really helps you get a clear view on what you can do in the future and what you can just do in general. There's a lot of things that you can do hands-on to really give you a good view of it. And yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, so let's rewind for a second here, because all I asked you was your name, and then you gave me your whole experience. What grade are you in?
We're in grade 8.
You're in grade 8?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to do with your life?
We don't know. That's why we came here to check out the skilled trades and see what opportunities were handed to us, because whenever we did go up to people to ask about it, they also gave us sources for when we were in high school to continue on.
One final question. Now that you've come here and you've kind of seen what's out there, do you think that will help shape your future decisions about what
Definitely.
you do? Yeah?
About half the things here, I didn't know what they were until I came here. It's there's a lot of things that I completely slipped my mind when I started thinking about skilled trades, because when I thought of skilled trades, I just thought of cosmetology, some other common one, construction, some other common ones.
I think that's a common misconception that people have.
But there is a bunch here. I don't know how they fit 40 here.
And what is your favorite thing that you saw here today? I always like to know that.
Yeah, the favorite thing you saw, and then.
My favorite thing that I saw would probably be, Sean, you know?
Just the positivity that everyone has.
No, favorite thing.
I know, that's my favorite
Were
thing.
you exposed to a trade where you're like, I can see myself doing that?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where, I forget what it's called. The one, where you lay the bricks and everything.
Oh, stonemason.
Yeah, stonemason.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yourself?
I'd want to be a hairstylist.
A hairstylist?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, well listen, I gotta say thank you, and unfortunately we've got a lot of people who are waiting to talk to us, but listen, thank you for coming. Your perspective is invaluable. And,
Thank you for having me.
And you're in grade 8, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But, just keep thinking about all the opportunities. Don't put yourself in one box.
Yeah.
Broaden your horizons, try everything, and do what you love.
Yeah, and come back next year.
And come back next year,
Yeah.
and then the year after that, and the year after that. All right. Lovely. All right. Wow.
Last one.
We are just flying through, and you are the last one. I see a little thing that says Millwright Regional Council. I'm going to give you this microphone. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then I'm going to let my colleague Aaron conduct the rest of
I
the
don't know
interview.
that I qualified for
Go
that.
ahead.
So hi, my name's Chris McCormick. My name's Chris McCormick. I work for the Millwright Regional Council of Ontario, and I represent the millwrights in Windsor and Essex, Chad and Kent. So,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now we know who you are. Aaron, take it away.
Oh, wow.
What kind of questions do you want to ask?
I don't know. Okay, Chris, how do you feel about the turnout here tonight?
I find it's a good turnout, and
Yeah?
we support the students, and we're out here advertising what we're about, and it's good for the students, and I like it. So.
Good, good. And
Now I feel bad because I kind of put you on the
oh
spot.
no, I'm
there.
ready for
okay,
this.
You're good now?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
holding back questions all night.
Oh, perfect.
Really, what I did want to know though, and I wanted to ask somebody, so this is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's talking about the aging workforce and trades, and I'm wondering, have you seen a trend toward younger people coming into trades in your union
Oh, for
as
sure.
of
So-
late? You know, because there was that gap, right?
Yeah,
that
so
hiring
usually
gap.
we used to take on about 12 to 15 millwrights a year. Now we're up to about 25. So right now we currently have
Wow,
about,
25 a year?
yeah, so
Good for you.
we're at about 100 apprentices right now.
Wow. And how's that like retention going and
And there's-
schooling access?
So we do our schooling at St. Clair, so we work with St. Clair to do our schooling. And we got lots of work in the area with the battery plant and the automotive plant being reborn again and all this new energy. And so we also work in different industries like Windsor Salt and the automotive, and then we do infrastructure too, so we're all over. So. Yeah.
Talk about that relationship with St. Clair a little bit. So, like, how do people? How does the process work?
So there's two different ways of doing it. Sometimes people apply to our hall. Some of them already did the 2-year program at St. Clair College, and we see that they're vested in it, and that we look at those students because they're already vested in the program, and then we just send them to school for their 3rd year. You know what I mean, with us. And then the other way they can apply at our hall, like with a resume, and then sometimes if we see they got everything we're looking for, we'll take them on, and then we'll send them to St. Clair. And they'll start from basic, intermediate, and advanced.
So when you say we'll send them to St. Clair, are you saying you're going to send them like you'll pay their way?
Yep, we'll pay their way. So yeah.
What is this? So you're paying for people to go to school?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
why do you do that?
Because we like to invest back in the students and train them and mentor them. And
wow, that's spectacular. I like to think that, so I'm a trained journalist, and I like to think that that is somewhat of a skilled trade because I have a very specified skill. I have a toolkit, although very different kind of toolkit from everybody else here. But nobody offered to pay for my school, so you must really want some people to come in.
Oh yeah, it's in demand right now. So
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity for the students if they're interested in doing mechanical. We're more or less like an industrial mechanic.
Yes.
We work in all the different industries.
Yeah.
Like from power sector right to mining and everything. So
That's
yeah.
great. And Aaron gave us all a nice backgrounder on what a millwright does.
I told you millwrights of the world would be disappointed.
I know, but it's
So.
different everywhere you go, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, every you're always learning, and it's nice to go to different places all the time. So we had a wide variety of.
Well, I feel like we could keep talking and talking, but our time is up, so we got to say thank you. I'm going to steal your microphone, shake your hand.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out today.
Thank you. Nice to
And
meet
good
you.
luck out there.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. All right. Well, I guess that's our time here today at Express to the Trades. I want to thank my co-hosts for joining me today. Thank you so much
you.
for lending your perspectives, asking those questions, and I guess until next year, we're gonna sign off and say goodbye.
We will not.
Wait, I
do need to tell you this.
Yes.
After pretending to work in media for 1 hour,
Yeah.
boy, am I happy I took a job in the trades. I am more glad to be a millwright in this moment than I have been in a long time.
What was your experience here today? Did you have fun?
It was amazing. It went by really fast. I love seeing all the young people.
Yeah.
Last year we were behind a booth and we just talked. I thought this should be better. We wouldn't have to talk as much.
Yeah.
But no, we've talked more. But it is. It's great to see the young people.
I agree.
To see the young women
Yeah.
that are really interested in that
And we
trade.
do actually have a chance now to go get behind that booth.
Yes.
We still have about another hour or so that we can connect with the youth and the parents. So we're going to get our toe in every puddle today.
It was really nice to hear the perspectives of all the people who are working or leaders in the industry and within the union groups. But my favorite guests were the young people who were coming in, and especially that one girl in grade 8.
Yep.
She came here not knowing what the trades were, and she learned so much. That was incredible. Loved it. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.